Happy New Year, everybody! That's right, 2022 has finally come to a close, so what better way to end off the year than bringing you my top 10 movies of 2022. Let's go! The Outfit, in my opinion, is probably the most underrated movie of 2022. I mean, I remember seeing a trailer for the movie back in, I think, March of last year, and then saw no other advertisement for the movie. In fact, I was excited to see the movie, but I never ended up watching it. I don't remember why I didn't watch it. I guess I got busy maybe. I didn't see it until, I want to say, 3 days ago. I got a Blu-ray copy for Christmas, and that's why I watched it, and I'm really glad I did, because this movie very much surprised me. The movie stars Mark Rylance, who plays Leonard, who is this expert craftsman who makes all these special suits for all these mafia and gang members that come over to his tailor shop. And you can tell that he's a man of class. He's sick of all of these mafia members coming over to his shop, interrupting his business, and he's sick of these mafia members doing their business in his shop. So he tries to find a way to get all these mafia members out of his life. Now, what I really liked about this movie is that you can tell that it is low budget. You can tell that they didn't have too much money, but they added in so much charm with the set designs and the production. The cinematography is amazing in this movie. And it all looks gorgeous. I'm not kidding when this is the most gorgeous movies of 2022. It's really, really well made. I don't want to give too much away about this movie, but just know that it is amazing and you need to watch it. And the plot twist in the end of this movie is one of the best plot twists I've seen in a movie in a very long time. Highly recommend this one. You know, never would I think I would have a video game movie on my top 10 list, but here we are. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was just an absolute joy to watch. One of my favorite video game franchises of all time is Sonic, and the first Sonic movie was okay. I do think it's a good movie, but this one is just a love letter to Sonic fans. Like, if you are a Sonic fan, I'm sure you've already seen this movie, but it just brought so much joy to my soul seeing so much passion for the Sonic character put to screen. It's just so good. It's just so good. I think it's just so refreshing to see a movie license game that has this amount of love, care, and passion put into it. You can literally tell that everyone involved in this movie just loves Sonic. And this movie was made for Sonic fans. Sure, critics didn't really like this movie, but this movie wasn't made for critics. It was made for people like me who've been playing Sonic all their lives. And it just brings so much joy that this amount of love was put into this character. And, ooh man, that shadow tease at the end, oh man, I cannot wait for the third one. Ooh, I can't wait. You know, I just realized I'm gonna get a lot of shit for having this movie on my list and not Top Gun Maverick. I'm sorry guys, I didn't like Top Gun Maverick, but I did like this movie. Sorry. Guillermo del Toro's passion project finally came to the big screen, and man, it was worth the wait. I feel like he's been talking about this movie forever now. I know a long time ago he announced that he was making a Pinocchio movie, and it's weird to think that it's finally here. The stop motion in this movie is beyond impressive. Like, it feels like impossible to achieve this level of expertise with stop motion. Everything in this movie looked absolutely gorgeous, from the characters to the set designs. Everything about it was just so impressive. The very first shot in this movie literally had my jaw drop for how good the stop motion looked. I don't know how they made this movie or how much time it took to make the stop motion in this movie, but my god, it is some of the most impressive animation I have ever seen. Like, holy crap, it was amazing. And full disclosure here, I've never seen anything Pinocchio related, so this was the very first thing I have seen when it comes to the character of Pinocchio, and I guess this is a really good first start because it was just such a heartwarming story. Surprisingly dark though for a kid's movie, but as a whole, it was just so charming and so magical. I cannot believe how good this movie was. And who knows, maybe I need to start watching more Pinocchio stuff. Except for that one movie that came out last year. Actually, weren't there 3 Pinocchio movies? How many Pinocchio movies came out last year? 3? Huh. Robert Eggers delivers once again. The Northman is about a Viking going on a complete rampage to get revenge on the guy that killed his father. And man, this was the most testosterone-filled movie I saw last year. This movie was filled with a bunch of shirtless buff dudes beating the shit out of each other, and I loved every minute of it. Now, one thing about me is I studied a lot of Norse mythology when the pandemic first started, when I was in quarantine, because to pass the time I had nothing to do, so I was like, yeah, I'll read Norse mythology. And I fell in love with the lore of Norse mythology, and I literally read Norse mythology books like for 3 weeks straight in quarantine. And seeing this movie and seeing all these little details that relate to Norse mythology, I was like, oh, I know what that is. I know what that is. And I just liked it so much. It seems like an absolute expertly crafted Norse mythology story that you would read in a book by Neil Gaiman. Now, this movie is not for everybody, though. I saw this movie with my dad, and he absolutely despised this movie. He was hoping that this would be more like Braveheart, but this is nothing like Braveheart. And I'm very sad to hear that this movie did not do that well at the box office. It was actually a big box office flop according to research that I did. And that makes me really sad because I love Robert Eggers and I love Norse mythology, and this is just a perfect match of a movie for me. And I wished more people saw it, but not many people did. And that's sad. So go see this movie. Go see it, please. It's worth your time. I mean, what else can I say about Puss in Boots: The Last Wish? This is one of the best animated films I have ever seen, and probably the best animated film I've seen since Into the Spider-Verse. I am so happy that DreamWorks is kicking back into full gear with their animation, and I pray that they use this animation style. I love what they did with the character of Puss in Boots. I love how much layer and depth they added to his character. And the story here is mainly for adults. There's a lot of themes that adults can relate to, and it's just an absolutely charming, heart-filled movie, and it made me cry. I mean, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish made me cry. I mean, just go see this movie for yourself. It's amazing. I posted a review a few days ago if you want to get more details on it. Just go see it. Go see it now. Well, this was most certainly the most depressing movie I saw this year, that's for sure. The Whale is a truly dark movie. This movie is not for the faint of heart. It is depressing. It is sad. This movie made me feel just empty for like 4 or 5 days straight. This movie is just so gut-wrenchingly hard to watch, which is why it's not at the top of the list. This movie would be actually number 2 or number 1 for me, but I'm not going to rewatch this movie for quite some time because it is such a gut-wrenching film to get through. And I mean, everyone is saying it, so I'll go ahead and say it too. Brendan Fraser's performance is the best performance this year, by far. He's definitely going to get the Oscar. If he doesn't get the Oscar, I'm going to be pissed off because he deserves this Oscar, and he's such a humble man, and he deserves it. Oscars, give him it, please. Now, I know I'm probably turning you off from the movie because of how much I'm saying that it's depressing and it's a hard watch, but I really do encourage you to at least try to watch it. If you don't finish it, that's fine. The movie is still in theaters. If you just go and see it and you walk out, at least you tried to watch it. I mean, this movie is so tough to get through, but I feel like it's a movie that everyone should watch. It has such strong messages about addiction and just trying to see the good in people. It is so difficult to watch, but it's such an important movie, and I feel like everyone needs to watch it. Again, I feel like this movie would be number 1 on my list, number 2 or number 1, but it's such a hard movie to sit through. I won't lie, guys, it was a really shitty year for comic book movies. I think I hated pretty much everything that came out by Marvel. I hated Thor: Love and Thunder, I hated Doctor Strange. I didn't like any of their shows that came out last year besides Moon Knight, but man, the Batman was the best comic book thing to come out last year. This is the best Batman film, hands down. It is better than The Dark Knight, and yes, I will die on that hill. This is the best Batman movie ever made. And in my opinion, this is the most comic book accurate Batman movie we've ever gotten. I mean, he does so much detective work. He acts like actual Batman. He's menacing. I don't see Christian Bale as Batman. I see Robert Pattinson as Batman. From now on, Robert Pattinson will be my Batman. Besides Kevin Conroy. Kevin Conroy's the best. Rest in peace. And it's not just Robert Pattinson that gives a great performance either. Zoe Kravitz, mwah, perfect Catwoman. Paul Dano, mwah, perfect Riddler. Colin Farrell, mwah, perfect Penguin. All the actors do a phenomenal job in this movie. And the story is so gripping and so engaging. It's like if Batman combined with Seven. That is the perfect matchup since, like, Beans on Toast. I don't even have Beans on Toast. People say Beans on Toast is great. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. Go see this movie, please. It's amazing. So here we are, the top 3 movies of 2022. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this was really hard at this point of the list. Everything else on the list, I'm like, oh yeah, Northman number 7, Pinocchio number 8, Outfit number 10. But these 3 movies were so hard to place. Just think of them all as number 1. All these 3 movies are like my number 1 movie of the year. But if I had to list them in a specific order, this would be the specific order. So just keep that as you will. Without further ado, number 3. Everything Everywhere All at Once is the most bad shit, balls to the wall, insane, crazy movie I saw last year, and I loved every minute of it. The action and cinematography are unlike anything I saw last year. It is an absolute masterclass in camera work, choreography, acting, everything. This movie was absolutely incredible. And this movie easily has the best female lead performance from 2022. Her performance is so energetic and funny and gut-wrenching, where she has to do all these different things in this one movie. And she just makes it work. She's what ties this whole movie together. I feel like without her performance, the movie would not be as good as it was, but her performance just elevates it onto a completely other level. It's so good. A24 has knocked it out of the park with their movies from 2022, and I cannot wait to see what they do in 2023. Well, y'all heard me talk about this movie a few days ago, and man, I'm happy to talk about it again because Glass Onion was just so freaking phenomenal. Oh, I'm so happy this movie turned out great. Rian Johnson once again knocks it out of the park. If he only does Benoit Blanc murder mystery movies from now on, I would not be sad because I know he would knock it out of the park every time. And I love how, once again, he flips the script for the murder mystery genre in a way I was not expecting. Again, he subverted my expectations in a good way. Not like The Last Jedi, but in a good way, like from Knives Out. This movie was just so freaking great. Oh my gosh. And Rian Johnson, Benoit Blanc meets the Muppets. Let's make it happen. Come on. You know you want to. Let's do it. And here we are. Number 1. My number 1 movie of the year goes to The Menu. This movie was just absolutely incredible. I loved everything about it. It was such a surprise. I knew that it was going to be a good movie because all the critics were raving about it, but I had no idea how amazing this movie was going to be. Everything about it was just absolutely incredible. It's beautifully shot, it's wonderfully acted, it's such a kick-ass movie. And it's surprisingly one of the funniest movies I saw in 2022. I mean, I knew it was going to be suspenseful because, you know, that's what it said, it would be a suspenseful movie. But I had no idea it would be a comedy as well, and there are so many laugh-out-loud moments in this movie. I kid you not, I was laughing uncontrollably in the theater when I first saw this. And I saw this movie again last night on HBO Max. It finally came to streaming services, and once again, with all the same jokes, I was laughing my ass off. This movie was just absolutely amazing. Like, I loved it so much. But there is a reason why it's my number 1. And I'm getting a little personal here. This movie convinced me to go back into doing these reviews. Because the movie has a message about doing art for yourself. And doing art that you enjoy. And my past reviews, I just made them hoping I would make it big. Hoping that maybe one of my videos would take off and I'll get a lot of subs and whatnot. But that wasn't fun. The reviews I made in the past weren't fun because, you know, they weren't getting the views that I wanted. And this movie has a message just about just making art for yourself. And I said, fuck it. I'm gonna make these for myself. I don't care if I don't make it big. I don't care. I just want to make my art of making movie reviews. This desk that I bought that after I saw the menu to have a nice desk set up for my videos. I have 2 high production lights for my videos that I bought after seeing the menu, because it convinced me to just go all out and just go in ham and making these videos for myself and make them on the quality that I want to make them. And if a movie can convince me to just get off my ass and make the art that I want to make, then it did something right. And that's why The Menu is my #1 movie of the year. And there we are. That's it. The top 10 movies of 2022 are finally done. Guys, I promise you, this year in 2023 is going to be chock full of reviews. I got a review coming out hopefully this weekend or next week. And I'm just going to go all in, balls to the wall, absolutely insane with these videos. I promise y'all, I'm not going to be going away or disappearing for months and then just randomly coming back. I'm in full force, baby. Let's celebrate with the new year. I hope you all have a fantastic night. Take care.